3 fraud by wire. And the way that they found me was that phone number. That was the only link they had. They didn't have any other link, as far as they knew. When the Do 111 conference was getting torn down, the Canadian telephone company was basically tracing everybody. But they didn't trace me because I was on somebody else's tie line. They only went to that person, but they didn't go to me. So I was protected.
Well, Steve Jobs said if it hadn't been for your invention, there wouldn't have been an Apple.
That's right, because Steve Jobs saw the Esquire article and said, we got to build one of these things. And then Steve Jobs wanted to market them and sell them. And so the money that they made with the blue boxes that they sold paid for the construction, the layout, and the creation of the first Apple I PC board. And that money that they used for that was from the sale of the blue boxes.
Incredible. Captain Crunch is our guest. Before we get into Snowden, I had engineers come to me a long time ago, I don't know, like 18 years ago, and say, listen, they've already wired into all the radio and TV stations to take them over. But now they're hardwiring the equipment by law we get, has to have it at the transmitter site and back at the station and on the cable and TV broadcast networks. And now they're putting it into the telecoms. And they say in the future, the president or whoever will break in with government announcements, and that we better get ready for hours a day of government programming where they just cut in whenever they want. Well, now over the smartphones and all this, it's beginning. And we had a big emergency alert take over and say, do what you're told. Don't be on your telephones. Prepare for a message from the dear leader, basically. That story went viral. We broke it. They first denied it. Then by Sunday, we broke it Friday. Drudge carried it. And then by Sunday, it was all over the news. Yes, it happened. What about AI systems making mistakes over these or trying to take over? What about how Time Magazine says, let's have driverless cars by law and not let anybody drive their car? It's like the elite are building a system not designed for humans to remove us from the equation. We shouldn't allow these technocrats to build a world not based on people, where humans don't go to space, where we're basically obsolete. The elite, the transhumanists, have already decided this, and I think it's up to hacktivists and people like you and others to really declare war on this anti-human movement. What's your take on that statement?
Well, in declaring war, I'd sure like to know basically how to start. Getting started in something like that is very difficult.
I think we start thinking about how we wage war against this, and we wage war by building a better world, believing in humanity, and spending money on products and people and organizations that are about empowering humans.
We got to let the people know that's how we're going to fight the war. We're going to fight the war by letting the voters know what's going on. And that's what Snowden did when he released all of those documentation about PRISM and how PRISM was able to go in there and monitor everybody's Facebook transactions. I mean, Facebook and Google is the NSA's data center. I mean, that's where they get their data. Their government data is out of date, but Facebook and Google, that data is up to date all the time. And that's where they get a lot of their information now, through that PRISM system that Snowden talked about.
What do you think about the NSA and all the back doors being built into all the so-called smart technology?
Well, they can do anything they damn well want. That's the problem, because they're so removed from, like, Congress and things like that. Congress was so surprised that this happened. And it's getting to be pretty hairy right now. And people, of course, are being monitored. But there are good tools out there that people need to be aware of. And this is how we fight them. We fight them by using encryption. We fight them by installing PGP on our Gmail systems. We fight them by downloading programs like Wickr, WICKR. That's what I use. I can communicate with my friends that have Wicker, and there's no record of the communication. There's not even metadata. It's forward security.
And it's not that you have anything to hide. It's that there are corporations and systems that run this giant spy network that are openly using it to block freedom movements and to set up a tyranny. They admit they're setting up a totalitarian system worldwide. We've had Benny, the former head of a major NSA department, number 4 in the organization, saying it's now a totalitarian plan to enslave and suppress and dominate. So we now know what is prima facie. We've got to take action against it.
We're developing a product right now called Thundercloud. This product is actually being developed by my roommate. We're about ready to go to alpha testing pretty soon, and it's going to eliminate a lot of problems. For people who travel between countries, who have to travel with sensitive information. And this product is amazing. I played with it. It is so fast, and the data that comes through it is just like, you get a YouTube video and it streams to your place, and it streams to your place at half the data throughput of everybody else, because all of the fluff and all of the
tracking,
all of the internal stuff is actually stored on the server and not stored on the client. And so the client can be a small little minimal system running an ARM processor, and it'll last for about 2 to 3 weeks on a charge. And the speed going through your network is blazingly fast.
Unbelievable. So it's kind of like that thing.
And we're going to be doing beta testing soon. And just go to my Facebook wall for announcements on when you can sign up.
Very exciting. John Crunch Draper, Captain Crunch, is on the line with us right now. Isn't it going to be their attempt to suppress, dominate, and surveil us and rob us of our privacy to create their conspiracies of control that is going to trigger the new innovators like yourself and others to come that will actually revolutionize and create a bigger, freer web and system that may have never grown if they didn't force us to innovate?
There are systems out there right now that are working on mesh systems through radio transmissions and through either ham or through a Wi-Fi, expanded Wi-Fi network with mesh systems. These are survivalists and preppers that live out in the boonies, sure, and have communities of maybe 5 or 10 homesteads that are close by, can all be connected together in a mesh network. So
truly local free communities. John Draper is our guest, Captain Crunch. We're going to come back with him and get into more on Snowden and just any other points I can think of. In fact, we should have been asking folks to tweet at Real Alex Jones any questions they've got. Or maybe we should open the phones up if he wants to stay for hacking questions or tech questions. So find out if John wants to say 20 minutes to the next hour and take calls. Captain Crunch is our guest.
This hour brought to you by InfidelBodyArmor.com. When it hits the fan, don't be left without the body armor that will save your life. With prices starting at just $374.99 and ships free. Get yours at InfidelBodyArmor.com. Just won't quit.
Hi, Ted Anderson with Midas Resources. Is it time to convert paper 401ks and IRAs to solid gold and silver yet? Get our 10 Reasons book free. Call 800-686-2237. That's 800-686-2237.
Virtually anyone can hack your cell phone and track your calls, your texts, your emails, your every movement, but only if they can detect a signal. Stay one step ahead of hackers and Big Brother with a Block-It Pocket, a custom-made pocket infused with pure silver that creates a complete Faraday enclosure for your cell phone. For free shipping to the lower 48, visit blockitpocket.com or call 888-315-9618. Blockitpocket.com, enhancing health and privacy.
This is a nationwide announcement for consumers owing back taxes to the IRS. The slowdown in the U.S. economy has forced renewed action by the Internal Revenue Service. The IRS is now accepting reduced settlement amounts from qualifying consumers who owe back taxes. If you're eligible, your back tax settlement may be discounted by thousands of dollars. A specially assigned national hotline has been directly routed to Defense Tax Group. Consumers may now call and check their eligibility for a significant tax debt reduction. Financial stability is a major priority during this slow economy, so you're advised to dial this national hotline number now. 800-678-4191. If you owe more than $10,000 in back taxes to the IRS, you may now find significant relief. You could save thousands of dollars if you qualify. Call now and get free vital information and to check your eligibility for a significant tax debt reduction. Call the Defense Tax Group now. 800-678-4191. That's 800-678-4191. 800-678-4191.
Another major health threat, this one in Toledo, Ohio, where everybody in the entire city has been told not to drink the water.
Ohio's governor declaring a state of emergency.
Did you know that the average person uses about 80 to 100 gallons of water at home every single day? If there's a water emergency, will you be prepared?
Panicked residents forming long lines throughout the day.
We're here at a supermarket in Toledo. You can see the shelves empty where water once was.
To stay safe and healthy during a crisis, you must have access to safe, clean water. Water which will not be available at your local grocery store.
There's a mad dash on right now to stock up on supplies.
The ProPure Pro 1 G2.0 water filtration system is a must-have for every modern, independently minded household. Protect your family's safety during an emergency. Go to InfoWarsStore.com today to purchase your ProPure Pro 1 G2.0 water filtration system or call 1-888-253-3139.
Cyrus Jones from 1810 to 1913 made his great-grandchildren believe...
Okay, Captain Crunch is going to stay 20 minutes in the next hour to take your questions. Specifically on air, quick questions. We get to a lot of people. The toll-free number to join us is 800-259-9231. 1-800-259-9231 to talk to the father, undisputed father of hacking. And kind of the father of Apple, according to Steve Jobs. So pretty amazing information. The grandfather, you'd say Steve Jobs was the father. The grandfather, John Draper, is our guest. Captain Crunch, you heard me bring up emergency alert system, but I said so much in the question that was really a diatribe. Getting back to EAS alert systems, what do you make of this Orwellian move and the fact that it's been there a while, but now they're rolling it out with internet kill switches, state-run media, the government's building its own cell phone network, not just Stingray, its own permanent system to steal our data. It's all completely illegal. It's a revolution against humanity. They are just doing it criminally.
Yeah, that's probably true. Absolutely. I agree with you. One thing that I want to say was that we're building what we call a prepper's data warehouse. These are for preppers who want to build their own internet privately among their community. Did you know that the Wikipedia will probably handle about maybe 20 terabytes of data? And we've got disk arrays now the size of a lunchbox, which can hold up to 80 terabytes. You put that in a Faraday shield and hook it up to a prepper's power system, and you've got yourself your own internet. Connecting that with a mesh network of radio systems, small communities can now communicate through an encrypted channel. No one can pick them up because it's going to be encrypted, and they can't shut that down. They can't go in and intercept that. This is a solution to this problem I'm trying to say. Preppers need to put together their own internet in their own private compound, to bug out areas, wherever they have to go to get away from all the hassle that's going to come. You know what I mean?
It sounds to me in my gut like you're saying, sir, that you think the system's collapsing.
It's inevitable it's going to collapse. It's just going to be a matter of when. It might be next 10 years. But people need to get started to prepare now and start storing very important survival information locally on their own machines, especially people that are located out off the grid. Preppers that are building their prepper compound should also include and put together a data warehouse.
I'll take it you don't like the cloud. They're trying to move the internet to not be secure, to not be redundant. But isn't the problem is that the DARPA engineers, people like your dad and you and others, built something that is designed to be able to take a nuclear attack?